Rousey, we're here at full time. It's finished 3-3 here against Ashington. Another roller coaster evening. Give us your thoughts on two strange halves of football.
Probably a great game for a neutral. If there's any ground uppers that have turned up, a 3-3 draw. Obviously, us going in front, then going 3-1 down, then pegging back to 3-3. But from us as a management team, and obviously us looking at that game, we can't continue to give the manner of the goals that we're giving away. For a good 35-40 minutes of that half, the first half, we've absolutely dominated, and we've let them away twice on the counter. Real poor goals to concede. The first one looks a good 3-4 yards offside, and obviously we seem to get a similar decision to that in the second half, so it's maybe evened itself up. But obviously it's frustrating at the time, and the linesman's telling us he played an advantage, and I don't know how you can play advantage when a man's in an offside position, but that's obviously his thought process on it. And then the second one, just a ball down the channel, and what we don't do is move his feet quick enough across and get across and shut that ball out, and obviously we leave him flooding the box, and it's a cutback and a real easy finish to put them 2-1 up. And from being in a position of strength and really dominating that first half, we're then looking at it and we're 2-1 down, and we've got a mountain to climb at half time, and obviously we come out second half, that mountain gets bigger, another real poor goal to concede. We've got the line's not together, one man 5 yards deeper than everybody else, the plate down the sides, and again he's in, and it's a good finish from their lad, but it puts us in a position of 3-1 down at that period of time without really playing poorly. We were saying to the lads at half time, we thought we played well in the main, apart from the manner of the goals, and I think if ever anyone wants to question the art and desire of the team, I think we've seen that in abundance in that sort of last half an hour from us going 3-1 down. And I'm miffed and surprised at how we haven't won it in the end. Obviously two real good goals, and Adam getting a bit of fortune. Is he or isn't he offside? It's a shot across, and he redirects it and puts it in. And then obviously the last one, we force a set piece. Burnsy smashes it across, and Lewis scrambles it home. And with 5 or 6 minutes to go at that point, you're saying, can we win it? Can we go on and win this game? And I think you see, we're in the ascendancy. We're almost Alamo time, weren't it? Everything, we're throwing the kitchen sink at them, but fair play to Ashington. They've held firm and got out of here with a point.
You touched on obviously the disappointment at the back. Going forward in the wide areas, both sides, Louis, Frankie in the first half, and then Miles when he comes on. We created so many chances in them wide areas. As much as not winning the game, it must be pleasing to see all the chances being created.
Yeah, obviously we were disappointed that Frankie got a knock in that first half, because for the first half an hour he was giving the right back the run around, weren't he? And all our good players were coming down the left hand side, and Frankie were producing that, and unfortunately for us, he got a little bit of a dead leg, and culminates in him having to come off. And then the second half, Louis took up the mantle, didn't he? And obviously starts to get their left back, and the amount of times he's beat their left back on the byline or he stood deliveries up, and I thought Louis' second half performance were outstanding. So real good first half for Frankie, real good second half for Louis, they're only young players. I think the adjustment of Frankie, obviously a lone player coming out of a full-time environment as a young boy, still learning the game, and then you're looking at Louis, his first season out of a full-time environment, and probably adjusting to the demands of working and playing non-league, and he probably went through a spell a month ago where his performances were a little bit quiet than what he would have liked. But I think you've seen in the last two games a goal and an assist on Tuesday night, a goal and an assist today, and I think we're starting to see the best of Louis, what we saw earlier in the season, so long may that continue.
Last point, obviously it's Adam's birthday today. He's chipped in with a couple of goals. He's not scored for a couple of games, but tonight's finishes were typical strikers' goals, in and around the penalty box for his second, a nicely taken penalty. How pleasing is it to see him back on the score sheet?
Yeah, as a forward you do carry that mantle, and you do carry a burden when obviously the goals dry up, and Adam's no different. He had a little bit of a spell, but if we're looking at the course of the season, he's given us a lot more than what he hasn't given us, and the goals have come regularly throughout the season. So Adam's been a little bit frustrated. He's probably had one quiet month out of the 7 that we've played this season, and obviously he was beating himself up a little bit. So to see him, get his rewards and get the goals tonight is pleasing, and again, long may that continue for him. But I think we've got to remember with these young players, Adam Moore's probably played more games in 7 months than he's played in 2 years at the beginning of this season. So we have to be a little bit patient. We have to understand that there's going to be ups and downs, but 2 really well taken goals tonight, and hopefully we'll see see an upward turn on his form again, and obviously he can push us in the right direction towards the end of the season.
Back at home again Saturday, facing a Bridtown side. What can we expect from that one?
You know, Bridder aside, as you'll see from looking at the results, you know, they're capable of beating anyone, and obviously what we've got to do is make sure we're the home team and try and stamp our authority on the game early. You know, if you give teams any sort of foothold in this league, as you've seen, top to bottom, they'll take it and they'll grasp the opportunity. So what we've got to do is make sure we're nice and bright from the start. You know, try and maintain a little bit more control, be a little bit more defensively switched on. But you know, we've scored 3 on Tuesday, we've scored 3 tonight. We've got to make sure the next time we score 3, we're taking the maximum points.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.